All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Reincarnation Coliseum. This video is going to cover chapters 4 through 6, and that means the next 3 episodes. But before we even get into that, we got to go back and recap real quick. Now, you know Mikigami, who is the MC, he just defeated Mary. Mary is one of 4 heavenly kings. She gets beat. Of course, she becomes slave. What happens after that? He meets with the receptionist because he's not used to winning just yet in this new world. And of course, the receptionist gives him aphrodisiac to breed her as the winner is supposed to do. So he takes her to the room, he gets his bang on, etc., etc. So, of course, he meets Lulu, I believe. That is her name. I forgot. It's been a while, but her name is Lulu, and she tells him about the next fighter that he'll be facing. And of course, we get a look at the other heavenly kings, one of which is Catastrophe, and the other is a lolly individual, Alice Cotton. Now, the one that he's going to face, however, is named Marl. Marl is pretty much a brawler. I love this character. So Marl is going to be the next one, and it starts off with Zayd-sama just throwing a fit and everything like that. Of course, Marl and the rest of the Heavenly Kings, they come in, they see her spazzing out, and they're just like, what is all this for? We lost one of the Heavenly Kings. And of course, she's like, who's going to take care of it next? So the next one who steps up is Marl. The other two are like, they don't want to take care of it because it's such a hassle. So Marl steps up and says she'll take care of it. Marl's just getting fired up the entire time. She's ready to go, and she's pretty much saying there's no way she can lose to a copy skill. So as that goes on, it shifts back to Lulu. Lulu's all like informing Mikigami about all this stuff about Marl, because that's who he'll be facing. And her skill is all about stat buff and stacking. Her whole thing is to stack and buff. So with that being said, just going from there, he gets a little take at like what class she has. And like the highest class you can go is 5. But the copy skill can only do half that. So maybe like 2.5, maybe even 3, so to speak. And, you know, Mary's just like, she's a complete weirdo and all this stuff because she does all these things. But then we get into some grotesque type shit. Like, Marl is like, hey, she's all riled up. And she tells one of her slaves to come here. And, you know, of course, I'm reading this. And it's just like, okay, what's she about to do? I'm thinking she's about to do some breeding or of some sort, like torture method. Like, same thing like Mary did. But, in fact, what we see is something even worse. And I can't even put it on screen. And I had to edit the image to some sort just so it can get to the dialogue. What she pretty much did is just dislocated this slave's joints everywhere. I mean, it is gross looking. If you want to see it, you may want to pick up the series and read it on your own. It's really fucking gross. But she dislocated the slave's joints, which is what she would do to anybody. But this is just like a warm up. And of course, you know, the caretaker comes in and is just like, well, this is just fucked up. And like is wishing good luck to Mikigami. So it moves on to the intros and everything of Marl and Mikigami coming in. They're being introduced. Everyone's got their bets up. Marl starts things off, gets her stat buff. Of course, Mikigami, we know this. What does he do? He copies. Tries a little scheme and a little method of his own. He gets a clean hit on Marl. Marl's just like, all right, okay, that was a good hit. Now it's my turn. So now she declares, I'm gonna punch you in your chest, Mikigami. Mikigami takes a hit straight to the chest. It sends him flying. He's pretty much damn near like dead at this point because, again, her stats are all level 5. His is like 2.5, 3 maybe, somewhere in there. And so as he's gasping for air, she picks him up off the ground and is like teasing him, torturing him and all that stuff. Like, is that all you got? But he does a trick. He spits in her mouth. She is livid. She kicks the shit out of Mikigami. Like, I mean, sends him flying again. And she pretty much is like, I'm just going to kill you. Of course, you know they get brought back in this series. So I'm going to kill him. So she stats buff all the way to like her maximum limit. And something's off. Something is off for her. And she gets weak. And it opens up an opportunity for Mikigami to hit her. So Mikigami gets a clean hit. Knocks her out. And pretty much she's just like, how did it come to be to that? Like, how did it get to that point? And it becomes like embarrassment time because now it's Mikugami's playing field at this point. And she's like, I can't stop this throbbing. And I'm going to get into that too. Can't stop the throbbing. Mikugami's just like, all right, I got something for you. He starts like smacking her ass. Like, I'm enjoying this at this point. And I'm like, he's getting all what he's going to get. He starts smacking her ass. Like, I mean, he's smacking that fat old ass. Like, I mean, that thing was jumping. That thing was jumping and thumping. She pretty much submits to him. Like, after all that, of course, Zaysama's pissed. And Mary, who is the first slave, gets notified that they're moving up to room, like, they get an upgrade. They get a better room, room level 2. Room level 2 happens. Mary's like, well, now he's going to use my body as a celebration. Of course, that was what he said before he left. I didn't mention it until now, but you know what he's going to do. He's got to bang it out. So he brings Marl to the room. She's like a beast pretty much. And, of course, you know what he got to do. He got to breed her. He's got to breed her. He tells Mary the way he beat Marl was because he crushed some of the aphrodisiac in his mouth and spit it into Marl. Of course, like he had a trick of his sleeve. That's what the throbbing caused all that shit. He starts banging her out. Of course, Mary seems a little jealous. Why wouldn't you getting banged in front of your first slave? So I was like, what the fuck? And of course, she like submits. She's just in love with Mikigami at this point. And of course, Mary doesn't stand for that. She takes aphrodisiac and she's like, I want to make love too. So it leads into that. But the next person you're going to face is someone from the Heavenly Kings again, one of Zaysama's, right hands. And it turns out that this individual is going to be the lolly one, Alice Cotton. Of course, Zaysama has her doubts. Zaysama has her doubts with Alice beating Mikigami, and Alice is like, do you know who I am? Like, who do you think you're talking to? Because her ability is like, it's almost like telekinesis, but I can't go into more information from there until I go into the next 3 chapters. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's longer than usual. Tell me what you think of the series so far, if it's piquing your interest or not. Hopefully it is. I mean, it's very enjoyable for what's going on. I mean, sure, there are really ecchi moments in this thing, and things can get really disgusting, but again, hope you like it. Comment on the video, share it, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 3K this year, and holla at your boy. I'll see you next time.